Welcome back to the Off the Woodwork podcast. This is episode 2, and today we'll be going over the top 5 players in each position, all time in the Premier League. I'm here with Shalom.
Hello.
I'm here with Ollie Bennett.
How's it going, lads?
And I'm here with George.
Hiya.
Right, I believe today we are starting with, obviously, quite the obvious place to start, goalkeepers. Anyone want to go first?
Start at 5.
Number 5, yeah?
Yeah, number 5.
Yeah. All right, we want to go.
I got Layman.
Layman. Oh, that's an interesting one. Why'd you say that?
Don't know, to be honest. He just was there, innit? He was just there.
So
he was in that little team in Arsenal, that little invincible team, and I was putting respect on his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went for another keeper. Bit more consistent, bit more longevity. David Seaman, unbelievable keeper. Keeper for England for a while, keeper for Arsenal for a while. I know it's hard to put an Arsenal keeper in there, but he was class, and probably the reason I have him over Layman is the consistency, really.
Right, George.
I think I didn't go with David Seaman on the position. He was higher up on my list. I went for a little bit of an unorthodox one. I'm not sure what your boys are going to say about this, but I went with Joe Hart, to be honest. Yeah, I know. You say that. That season when City won the title, yeah. We all know that famous Aguero goal. He was amazing that season. He wasn't great for England, but he was Man City goalie for a while, and he's won the Premier League title, which is more than most goalies can say. So that's why it's number 5 for me.
Right, I've gone for someone that's not popped up before. We've gone for David De Gea. Simply for longevity, ability. Yes, he's a little dipped recently, but yeah, I think he's top 5 personally.
Mm-hmm. He did win the Premier League title, didn't he? Early on in his career.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Last season of Ferguson's, I believe.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Right, who you got number 4 then, lads?
I went for David Seaman in this position. Similar kind of points to Ollie, just that longevity. And then, I obviously it wasn't really any of our eras when he played. But from what I've heard of him, he was a very solid Arsenal goalkeeper for a number of years. And same with him in the England shirt.
Yeah,
I've got Seaman as well, so we don't need to talk about him.
Okay. Probably the second best keeper I've seen in my lifetime, David De Gea. I've agreed with Tom. It was 2010s, unbelievable. As he said, dipped in form the last 2 years, but I mean, that Arsenal game where he literally had 20 saves kind of shows how amazing he is. Just what a keeper. He should have gone to Madrid ages ago, but for the Prem, very, very good.
I'm quite glad that Seaman's come up. They can't be accused of being biased. Yeah, he's my number 4 spot, as we've already mentioned why.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I think I'm going to kick off number 3 with a relatively obvious pick with Pt.1.
Oh, so low down.
Oh,
interesting.
The Arsenal bias. So
why would you say check in 3rd?
I think my other picks were better keepers, overall better achievements, and just had more of an impact on the game.
Shalom, contain yourself, mate.
Right. Okay. I can respect some reasoning. I think the fact you said he hasn't won more than the others is a bit odd, but we're gonna go past that. I got Edwin van der Sar in 3rd.
I got Van der Sar as well, Ollie.
Very, very solid.
I've got Van der Sar as well.
Yeah,
that's fair. But those 3 keepers there, all elite in the Prem. They're top 3 for me. I don't think many would argue with that being any different.
Shalom, who'd you get for number 2, mate?
I got Schmeichel.
I got Schmeichel as well.
I got Schmeichel.
I assume we're all talking about Peter Schmeichel here.
Yes.
Yeah, Casper. No, it is Peter Schmeichel.
What about you, Tom?
Edwin van der Sar.
You're big tripping. You're big.
Why Van der Sar over Czech?
I just think he's had more of an impact on the game. Longevity-wise, I think he was more consistent for a long period of time. Check.
Oh my God! What is this guy chatting? Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine.
He's great
Okay,
at Chelsea,
yeah.
but then obviously at Arsenal, unfortunately, he did fall off quite significantly.
Right.
It's like 52. What's the point?
Right. Number 1. I think there's a general consensus here, minus Tom. I think we've all gone for Pt.1.
Yeah.
I mean, was it 13 goals he conceded in that one season across the whole season?
2004.
Yeah,
15.
I mean that is the best individual season for a goalie in the history of the Premier League, I'd say, for me. I mean, he's won I think he's won 2 titles with Chelsea. I want to say
5,
maybe more. 5 is it? I mean, you can't argue with that. You know, I think he has the most Premier League clean sheets.
Yeah.
Greatest goalie to have played in the Prem for me. I can't see past him. I don't know.
And longevity, 2004 all the way to 2019. But sometimes some people say he doesn't have the longevity. Apparently, Schmeichel, who they're not there for long, has better longevity. Apparently, Edwin van der Sar has better longevity. And apparently, according to Tom, they're better goalkeepers, which is just ridiculous. But it's fine. I hear you. That's fine.
Tom, who's your number 1?
Peter Schmeichel.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I mean,
no, it's not as if he's a bad goalie.
No, it's just that he doesn't have longevity when he played for a really long time. It was just like
Schmeichel played long.
He's fine having him third.
He played long, but just
but he said Czech doesn't have longevity as the other 2.
Talent wise, I'd say Schmeichel might be better, but again, because Czechs have the most clean sheets in the Prem and playing, as you said, from 04 to 19, that just edges him. But I feel like it's 1A and 1B for me, them two.
I feel
you. Right, okay, next we're going to move into centre backs, and I'm hoping this is a little less controversial. I'm going to start at number 5, and I guess you could accuse me of being biased, but I've gone with Tony Adams.
Same.
I mean, he was part of the Invincibles. He was just a brilliant player all round. A lot of iconic moments in an Arsenal shirt and in an England shirt, actually. I'm surprised around that era, England didn't really win much. But yeah, that's my number 5. What about you lot?
Sol Campbell. What about you, Ollie?
I've got Vincent Kompany at 5.
I got Tony Adams 5 as well. I had Sol Campbell as my little honourable mention at 6.
Yeah,
so,
he was 6 as well.
He was close to me, even though I hate him.
What about right, at number 4, I've gone with Vincent Kompany. Just absolute class player for Man City. And when he left, I think it was only then that I think almost people realised just how much of an impact he had. You know, they were missing that vocal player, the leader. That he not only was he a great defender, but he could organise that team really well, and that's why he's number 4 for me. How about you, Ollie?
I have an interesting one here. I've got Virgil van Dijk. Now, the reason I got Virgil van Dijk here, because he arguably has had the best prime of any of these lot here. And I think when you have a season like he's had and the impact he's had in Liverpool, probably the most influential signing in the last 5 years of any team, in my opinion. Almost winning, I think he deserved the Ballon d'Or as a centre-back, which is mad to think the first time since Cannavaro anyone's really been up for it as a centre-back. So for that, I like listening to him play. He's probably one of the best centre-backs I've ever seen, play, to be honest, in his prime. And it's not like he's been in the Prem for a while. He's been for Southampton. George will know, he's been solid at Southampton anyway. But he took that next step, so I had to go for him there.
Number 4, I had Kompany as well. As George said, he's really influential and all those things. I'm interested to see who Ollie missed out due to. Who's your number 5, Ollie? Again?
Number 5 was Vincent Kompany. So no Tony Adams or Sol Campbell.
Yeah, Kompany, and I'm just interested to see who drops out your top 5 because I'm just interested.
No, I said Campbell and Tony Adams, not in the top 5. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right, cool.
All right,
Tom?
I'm just going to say it's going to be controversial, but I'm going to go with Nemanja Vidic at number 4.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. Why would you do that?
I mean, he was obviously a brilliant defender, but like, I just think the people above him were better and more influential in terms of impact on the team, impact on the league, and what difference they made to their team, essentially.
I got Nemanja Vidic at number 3 on my
Yeah,
list.
same. Hey George, we're out here.
I've got Ferdinand 3. But again, 2 and 3 for me interchangeable, given they're both on the same team and both had similar impact to their team. But yeah, that's what I'll say.
Did you have number 3, Dips?
At number 3, I had Vincent Kompany, solely due to his impact to the City team. Some iconic moments, and obviously he was brought in quite early in the oil money era. And yeah, he's the longevity and the impact that he had on that City team, probably being their best defender. Well, not probably, definitely being their best defender during their glory days. I think that's why he's number 3. Who have you got a lot of number 2 then?
Number 2.
Ferdinand. I had Ferdinand.
I had Ferdinand.
Yeah, I had Ferdinand as well. Ollie, would you like to explain yourself?
So as I said before, 2 and 3 for me interchangeable. But for me, looking at Vidic, the toughness and like the overall defensive ability he has, I feel kind of edges it over Ferdinand a little bit. I think, like if you see him play, like if I'm going up against both of them, I'm more afraid of Vidic. I think just because if you thought about running at him and sort of as an overall defender, I think he's a little bit better. But as I've said, both on the same team, both had similar impact, so interchangeable for me.
Yeah, I hear you. Ferdinand, probably the fastest centre back of all time, maybe. Like he in his prime, like if like you know what, yeah, it's so great. He's a good player, and he's just not as good as number 1, in my opinion. It might be, but I know we all have. I see we all have Pt.1, but even like
right,
just
simple.
I could go about JT all day as a Chelsea fan, but great captain, leader, it's just great player, longevity from like from the late 1990s to like 2015, 16, won 5 Prems, so much more. Like
Champions League.
It's the Prem show, so we can't really add those stuff in, but it's just like a great career and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, being an Arsenal fan, I do have to agree with you there, Shalom. He's probably definitely the best defender of the Prem era.
And he's one of those players, and not only was a good player, but a good leader as well, which is the best combination you could possibly get with a defender.
Right, now we get into the hopefully slightly meatier section of fullbacks. I think that will provide a little more discussion points, that kind of thing. Number 5, I'm going to go straight and say it, Lee Dixon, and that's not because of his commentary on FIFA. That is because of his contributions to the Invincibles. Obviously, played fullback, played centre back, could play pretty much all over the back line, and did a pretty decent job wherever he played. To be honest, he was a great leader as well. That's why he's my number 5.
I similarly went Lee Dixon as well. I mean, he was a great player for Arsenal. Not in obviously any of our eras, but from what I've heard from parents, etc., he was an integral part of that Arsenal Invincible side, and that's why he deserves the number 5 spot for me. What about you, Shalom?
See, this might be biased. Yeah, I'll say it. I have Ivanovic. Look at this already. Yeah, I made a mistake.
Ivanovic is on my list.
I'm not saying
why.
Really? Really? Oh, okay, cool.
Ivanovic is 4 for me.
I don't think it's.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. I have Ivanovic. Just like he had everything. He had attack, the guy picked up a lot of red cards. Like when me and my dad used to play, we said Ivanovic either scores or he's always getting sent off this game. Like he was just such a great player, and just so he's got that bulldog mentality, and maybe some of his defensive, like he was not very quick and all this stuff. They'll probably cover that by like Gary Cahill and John Terry when he played. But I think he's just a fantastic player and great aerial threat and all those sort of things. So yeah, I have Ivanovic 5.
Okay. I've got big Pablo Zabaleta at 5. Now, was a big part of City's sort of, I guess you say, dynasty in the early 2010s. You know, just great. I was about to say offensively, but attacking wise and defensive wise, just overall great player. I mean, one of the best players that I've really seen play at right back. I mean, I think he's in the conversation to be one of the best right backs in the Prem of all time. I know it's a weak position overall, but I've got to be in the shout for me.
George?
Oh, that's 3 seconds.
Yeah, you went for Lee Dixon.
Yeah,
Lee
wait,
Dixon,
sorry.
mate.
Right.
Yes, sir, 4.
My number 4. I know you're not going to agree with me here, but I'm going to go with Kyle Walker.
So you say no one's going to agree with you, but I have Kyle Walker number 4 as well. I'm going to tell you why.
No.
I'm going to tell you why. He is the most physically gifted right back I think I've ever seen. One of the quickest players in the Prem, extremely strong, can play centre back, right back, maybe even put a shift at right mid. Probably one of the best attacking right backs of all time, just because I guess with the innovation of football, they're getting more involved. And I think he's one of the first kind of people to get involved. I mean, look at, when he's playing at Tottenham, the attack fullbacks we used, how good he was back then. And I think, City didn't, pay 50 mil for him for no reason. And I think overall talent-wise, he has to be over some of these guys.
Yeah, I agree. Who have you got at 4 then? Ivanovic, I think, was one of them.
Yeah, I got Ivanovic at 4. Kyle Walker's my honourable mention for this position, number 6. I just think Ivanovic, for his time, was the better player. Obviously, if he played in the modern game, he probably wouldn't have been this high up in the list. But for his era, when obviously attacking fullbacks they were starting obviously to come in, but they weren't as commonplace. I think Ivanovic played the classic right back position very, very well, and obviously was incredible with John Terry and Cahill at the back and obviously Ashley Cole, as Shalom said, and that's why he's number 4 for me.
Yeah, my decision's heavily influenced by my dad. My dad really liked Forest and stuff, and he told me that Stuart Pearce is a bit of a baller. So this one's for you, Dad. I've got Stuart Pearce at 4. I know he didn't win no Prems or anything, but my dad feels a vocal part of that Forest team and stuff. So I've got Stuart Pearce here. Yeah.
I like that.
Ollie, who have you got for number 3?
Number 3. So, Shalom was saying how he's surprised that he thought it's a bit unpopular that Ivanovic is 5, being biased, but I've got Ivanovic 3. Now, a reason we've kind of mentioned Chelsea before, how solid that back 4 was for a while, and obviously Petr Cech involved, and Ivanovic played a big part, scoring some big goals at times, always been solid at right, and again, like Zabaleta, could be in the conversation for one of the best right backs in the Prem. So yeah, Ivanovic for me for number 3.
Okay, cool. My next one's Gary Neville. He was a big part of all those Man U teams. I wouldn't say he's the most gifted. You wouldn't really call him a very gifted player. He was just there. When you have it, I think he's more there because how much he's won and all those sort of things. More than is like pure talent, because there's a lot more talented right backs in the Prem than him. As you said, like Kyle Walker, all these other players, they're a lot more talented than him. But it's what he's won and the teams he's been in. I think he deserves my 3rd spot right here. So yeah.
Well, I can respect that.
I've gone with the very eccentric Patrice Evra at number 3.
I went with Patrice Evra as well.
I think he had pace to burn. Obviously, not the best start to his United career, but he just grew into that role, made it his own, and yeah, I think he's second best left back in Prem history. I think we all know who number 1 is, but yeah, I think he's definitely up there. Longevity-wise, achievement-wise, just what he brought to that United team going forward, and obviously defending.
Ollie?
I thought that was number 3.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Ollie, yes.
Number 2,
Yeah.
I got Gary Neville. Now you've already touched on Gary Neville. The reason he's rated so highly, mainly just because of longevity, stuff he's won, and overall was, pretty solid. And there's a reason he was trusted by Fergie for a long time.
I similarly said Gary Neville as well. As you and Shalom both said, he might not have been maybe necessarily the most gifted player as a fullback, but the amount of league titles he's won and other honours with Man United really you have to put him up there with the greats.
Yeah, I would have Neville as well, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Evra.
Okay.
But before we all have unsuitable, we have number 1, Ashley Cole. I want to highlight one thing. I really want to put Aspilicueta in here, and I'll tell you why. I think he's the most consistent right back, apart from Ashley Cole, of everyone on this list.
Cole's
he's won 2. Huh?
Cole's a left back.
Right back and left back. He played both. He played both. Huh? You're telling me about my club? Yeah, he won one. He won one playing left back and one playing right centre back.
That's not right back, is it?
Yeah, but he plays both. He can play both. What you trying to say? He came to club as a right back.
He was left back.
Don't start this, Don't start this. He played both. What's he playing right now then?
He doesn't. He's retired.
What Aspilicueta's retired?
No, Cole.
No, I was talking about Aspilicueta.
You just said Cole was one of the best right backs.
No, I'm talking about Aspilicueta.
Okay, well, you said Cole was one of the best right backs. He's not. He's a left back.
Oh, I thought I was talking about Aspilicueta. Sorry. Anyway, shut your mouth. Cool. I'll talk about Aspilicueta. I was saying I think he's the most underrated fullback of all time. I do believe that he could have got onto this list if I didn't get influenced by my dad to put Stuart Pearce on here, and I probably would have slotted him at 5. But he's gonna have to get in the honourable mentions. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Aspie as my captain. Yeah, I've got Evra. I've got Evra too.
Okay. Respect that.
And then 1, I do have Ashley Cole. Yeah.
He's got to be a top 5 Judas in my opinion, but yeah.
He's number 1 Judas. No, number 2 Judas.
He's number 2 Judas.
The sheer mention of his name gets me
He's number 1.
Sol Campbell plus.
I believe number 1 was Van Persie.
Yeah, Van Persie.
What about Peter Schmeichel? Didn't he play for City and Man United?
I'm talking about Robbie's list. Blood.
AFTV.
Oh, AFTV. I didn't realise that was a thing. My bad.
We'll show it to you after the video because it's quality video.
It's British.